name is Lude from HeroesMart Academy, and I get a chance to talk about how to homeschool the easy way. We're going to be talking about things like how to homeschool for free, how to include biblical morality into your homeschooling curriculum, how to network with other homeschoolers, and a host of other things. But just before we get started, just want to talk about a little bit of my profile and my wife's profile. My name is Lude. I'm the founder of HeroesMart Academy. I've written over 40 books together with my wife, and together with my wife, Nita Lude, she's the co-founder. We've produced over 3,000 educational videos for homeschooling community right now, ranging from pre-kindergarten to 5th grade. So that's a little bit about us, and you're welcome to check us out on HeroesMart.com/school. All right, so in today's webinar, we are going to be talking about how to homeschool for free, how to infuse biblical morality into your curriculum, networking opportunities for homeschoolers, structured versus non-structured homeschooling, and if you get overwhelmed, what are certain tips that you can leverage so as not to be overwhelmed. And we certainly do not want you to quit. If you are a parent, you are homeschooling your child, you're doing a great job already, so please and please do not quit. All right, so today's webinar is going to be recorded and it's going to be posted on our Facebook group. So if you haven't joined our Facebook group, you're welcome to go ahead and join, and so that you can have access to this webinar at a later date. So how do we homeschool for free? Well, I'm going to be talking about two main strategies that I know of right now that you can use to homeschool for free. And the first one here is do it yourself. All right, and the second one is going to be to utilize resources that have been made for you, so you don't have to go all alone trying to do it by yourself. You can utilize other people's resources. For example, HeroesMart Academy is going to be an excellent resource that shows you how to homeschool for free. So, but let's say that somebody wants to go ahead and do it the more difficult way. So the first thing I'm going to recommend that you do is to download your state's curriculum. So we live in the state of Texas, and if you do a search on the internet and just type for the state of Texas curriculum, educational curriculum for pre-kindergarten or kindergarten or 1st grade, you're going to stumble across this link, which is tea.texas.gov. And when you click on this link over here, it's going to take you to a place where you can access the learning expectations for your state based on grade levels. So for example, grade 1 is going to be over here. I'm going to try to make this a little bit fit into the screen right now. So grade 1 is going to be here right on the screen in front of us. It gives us an opportunity to see, based on the subjects that the state recommends, that you want to make sure your child masters by the time they're getting out of that grade level. So let's click on grade 1 here, for example. From grade 1, you are going to see all the subjects that are potentially open for you to learn from. So English, language, arts, and reading, mathematics, science, and social studies. Languages other than English, health, education. Now, the minimum for the state of Texas is not a whole laundry list of all of this, but it gives you at least something to work with if you wanted to build your own curriculum by yourself. So if you click on the English language arts section of it, you are going to see something here called knowledge and skills. So developing and sustaining foundational language skills like listening, speaking, discussion, thinking, oral language. So these are the learning expectations for a 1st grader in the state of Texas. And I'm sure all states in the United States will have something similar to this. All you need to do is to go onto Google, type it in over there, and you are going to see similar resources for your state. And then right after that, you're going to scroll down to the next subject and you walk through it and you build something for yourself that you can use at a later date. Now, this is going to be definitely a more difficult way to do it. It's going to take time. So if you don't have that luxury of time, you may want to consider using additional or using someone else's resources that have been made for you. So a great example is going to be with HeroesMart Academy. So somebody may want to ask, well, can I homeschool for free with HeroesMart Academy? And the answer is going to be yes. There are two ways in which you can homeschool directly with HeroesMart Academy. Homeschool for free with us. The first thing you want to do, if you don't want to spend a lot of money out of pocket, is watch free videos and take notes. It's just as simple as that. So we've published 3,000 videos right now to our YouTube channel, and we've organized all those videos into a website where you can literally just access those videos and take notes and homeschool for free. Well, if you think that, well, I need something a little bit more structured than that, then we have another option. The second option here is to register to our program. And right now, for those who are going to be a part of this presentation, we are offering 20% discount for those who register within this presentation, or within a few days of this presentation. You can register here, and then you are going to be taken through a structured experience with regards to using our resources at HeroesMart Homeschool Academy. So how do you do that? Well, you're going to click on this link over here. It's going to take you to the registration page, and you're going to see that there's going to be a discount that's going to be added to your account if you were to register over here. As at 2024 September, we are offering about 50% discount, and if you choose to follow the link on this particular presentation, you're going to get an additional 20% on that. Why? Because we want to give it to as many parents as possible. We want to make homeschooling as affordable as possible, and you can do the research on the internet. No other curriculum will give you this much content for this price. Why? Because we are predominantly a ministry. So you want to take advantage of that. So let's look at what you can get if you were to register to HeroesMart Homeschool Academy right now. So if you've registered to HeroesMart Homeschool Academy and then you go ahead and you log in, your profile is going to look pretty much like this. And I'm going to pull this open here so we can see what the profile looks like. So your profile looks like pretty much like this right now. I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger so you all can see it. Okay, here we go. So you're gonna see, once you log in, you're gonna see a place where you can access your timetable. So for example, this particular demo student is in 4th grade, and they have all their subjects laid out for them like this. So when you first register, the first thing you want to do is to go to your profile. When you go to your profile, you're going to see your student profile, and then you can select your grade level. So I think by default, when you get to register, pre-kindergarten is going to be the default that's going to come in front of you. But so you select that profile, and then subsequently your timetable is going to be populated with that particular grade level, and you have it organized for you. This is what you're going to learn, what you need to learn on Monday, on Tuesday, and on Wednesday. And all you need to do for week 1 is to click on this link, open the lecture, and then you are going to be able to watch your lecture for free over here. And then once you're done with the lecture for today, for the day, return to your timetable, click on the next subject, open your lecture, and then you are going to see that lecture pop up in front of you as well. Additional things that you can do is, if you register to us, we are going to give you free workbooks that are going to be downloaded to your particular library. So you have a library over here. All you need to do is just to send us an email that I'd like to have my workbooks, and we are going to have it downloaded for you over here. Another thing that you're going to be able to do is to track progress. So you get a chance to see how many courses you've completed during the course of a grade level. So you are going to see courses over here on Mondays being completed, and you get additional scores that are associated with this particular grade level, which you may apply toward your exit examination. So with your exit examination, if you are going to be taking a certificate of completion with us, this is going to come really handy for you over here. Another thing that you can do with HeroesMart Academy's portal is you can take examination with us. So you go over here, you are going to see an examination timetable, in which we are going to give you examinations for free. They are worth $5, or worth actually $10 per examination, but we are going to give you 25 examinations for free, worth over $250 if you were to register with us. And all you need to do is to let us know, and we are going to register your student for the examination for that particular grade level. And when you want to take the examination, all you need to do, you're going to see upcoming examinations. If an examination was upcoming for you, you click on it, you start the examination, and then you can walk your student through it. We recommend taking examinations after every 9 weeks. So you do week 1 to week 9, you take examination. You do week 10 to week 18, you take examination, and so on and so forth. Now, to check the previous examinations that you've taken, you go to previous examinations, and for example, you want to review your examinations. You can see how your child performed on this examination. You can see over here, this particular child made 100% on this particular examination. And you have the opportunity to view analytics. So if you want to see, well, which questions did my child get right? Where did they miss over there? You have this page over here that's going to tell you, well, in whole numbers, they made 7 out of 7. In decimals, they made 1 out of 1. In ratios, they made 2 out of 2. And if they missed something out of there, this particular page is going to let you see that so that you can review their strengths and their weaknesses over there with this analytics page. You can do that here. Another thing that you can do is if you run into any problems, you can send us a ticket, and we are going to work on it here. You can register to our Facebook, and then you get a chance to network with lots of homeschooling families. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do with us, and we get a chance to network even with a private homeschooling family will register to HeroesMart Academy once every month. So that's a way you can take advantage of HeroesMart Homeschool Academy. And if you are really interested in getting your money back, you're welcome to refer people to us. Well, how do you do that? Well, you're gonna go to your profile page. From your next of kin here, after about 30 days with us, your reward link is going to be populated over here, and all you need to do is to either shorten your reward link from tinyurl.com or bit.ly.com, and then you can start to share your reward link with your friends and your family members who may want to register to the HHA. And if they were to register to the HHA, 20% of their tuition is going to be going to you as long as they stay within the platform. So technically, if you paid, let's say, maybe $300 to sign up to the HHA, and all you need to do is to refer about 6 students to us, and then you will be homeschooling for free, just like that. So that's another way to homeschool for free. You can watch videos for free and take notes. You can register students to the HHA and refer others. Well, how do you watch videos for free? Well, you're going to click on free.heroesmart.com, and when you click on this, you're going to click on free homeschooling videos, and you are going to see here from pre-kindergarten to kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade. Click on the link that you want to watch, and then you are going to see video lessons in mathematics, in English, 1st grade Bible, 1st grade science, 1st grade social studies, music. You are going to see all of this here, and it doesn't cost you a dime. What you need to do is just to click on it, watch the video, and take notes. That's going to be completely $0 out of pocket. Okay, so that's the way you can homeschool for free. All right, so moving on right now, we're going to be talking about how to infuse biblical morality into your curriculum. So the way you want to do that, I mean, there are numerous ways you want to do that. Firstly, you want to include Bible reading as a subject. So while you have mathematics, English, science, social studies, you want to make sure you have Bible reading. And it doesn't have to be too complicated or extra seminary. You know, just open the Bible and read a chapter of the Bible once a week and explain to the child, especially from the Gospels, lifestyle of Jesus. You know, explain to the child what you've read in the Bible and let them regurgitate it, let them reflect on it. Well, that's Bible reading the subject. But in addition to that, you want to utilize relevant scriptures in the contents that you're building. So if you're going to be building your content in a DIY fashion, you're going to be doing all by yourself, we recommend that you infuse relevant scriptures into your content. And a great example of that is going to be this one over here. So look at the 3rd grade mathematics. Right here in 3rd grade mathematics, we are putting a relevant scripture in this content. Numbers 14 and 22. Some bad people offended God 10 times in a row, and God was counting. What was God's counting pattern? Okay, so, well, the child is going to be, out of curiosity, may want to ask you, well, what happened over there? Well, that sparks a conversation to talk about God. So they were repeatedly rebelling against God, and God said, well, these 10 times you guys have ticked me off right now. I'm not going to be happy with you. Well, that gives them an opportunity to think about God. It gives you an opportunity to share with them God's expectation with regards to obedience. It's going to pique their interest. So we recommend this particular strategy to infuse biblical morality into your curriculum by including relevant scriptures. Another way you can include biblical morality, infuse biblical morality, if you will, into your curriculum is to use biblical characters for illustration. And I've got a little excerpt of it on the board right now. So this is going to be when you're trying to teach, for example, bar charts in mathematics. In this particular example, the characters that we are using for illustration will be right from 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 30, which talks about virtue, faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of this is love. Well, that's a bar chart over there. So you can choose to create a bar chart that is going to look pretty much like this. They're going to have 30 points for love, 20 points for faith, and 10 points for hope. And then when you start teaching your child about bar graphs, you're going to pique their interest. They want to know what hope is. They want to know what faith is. They want to know what love is. So while you're teaching mathematical concepts, you get a chance right now to talk about God. You can do that. Another strategy that you can use is to debunk mainstream philosophies with biblical truths. So science may want to teach you that, people came from monkeys and monkeys came from plants. Well, use that opportunity to tell them, well, there's a creator somewhere who created monkeys to be monkeys, created animals to be animals, and created human beings to be human beings. Use that opportunity and include that in your science curriculum. So numerous ways that you can infuse biblical morality into your curriculum over here. I want to make sure you take advantage of it. And this is really our kernel in this ministry. So all our content, right from kindergarten, pre-kindergarten to 5th grade, and by the grace of God going forward, we are including biblical morality into this content. Why are we doing this? Well, the reason we're doing it is because of two major scriptures. Romans 8:6 says, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. So that lets me know that if you keep your mind spiritual, you're going to have peace. You're going to have life as a result of it. But if my mind is not spiritual, then forget about peace. So we want peace for our children. The peace is not going to come from an abundance of video games. You want to put your mind on God and help your children to put their minds on God, even though they're studying mathematics, even though they are studying English language arts, even though they are studying science. Put their minds on God by infusing biblical morality into your curriculum. Another scripture that is going to be worthy of note is going to be Deuteronomy chapter 6 and from verse 6 to 9, which says, and these words which I command you today shall be in your heart. You shall teach them diligently when you sit at your house, in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. You shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. So God is letting us know over here that if you want to obey God's commands, talk about the Lord regularly. But we live in a society that wants to separate biblical truths, biblical conversations from daily operations, going to school, going to work. Just don't talk about God here because we're at school. Well, that's the reason we have a bunch of people who are hostile to God, a bunch of people who don't have peace in their minds, and we don't want that for our children. So this is the reason that we are really big on infusing biblical morality into our curriculum in this ministry, and we're sharing with you certain strategies and tips that you can use to do that if you wanted to build a similar curriculum. All right, so moving on, we're going to be talking about right now networking opportunities for homeschoolers. And there are great options over here. There are going to be local co-ops within your community. So if you were to do a search on the internet, for example, you want to search for homeschooling co-ops in Texas, or in Houston, Texas, or in Dallas, Texas, wherever you're located, there is going to be a couple options that will pop in front of you. Reach out to the organizers of these co-ops, and then reach out to them, and then you can take your child over there maybe once a week or once in 2 weeks. They have opportunities that homeschoolers can get together, they can learn together, and they can do field trips together. They can do a bunch of things together. Great option for networking. Another way to network for homeschoolers is going to be via your local churches, the local libraries, reading clubs and associations. There are great opportunities for you to engage with other families that share homeschooling interests. Another way to network, of course, is going to be through homeschooling conventions. So in the state of Texas, we get a chance to have homeschooling conventions over here once in a year or 2 times in a year. They are going to be organizations that are putting together homeschooling conventions where thousands of homeschoolers gather together, and then they can network based on that. Another great option, which is going to be more fitting to you if you are interested in being a part of our journey at HeroesMart, is to come through HeroesMart's registration. When you register at HeroesMart Academy, we are going to call you into what we call the HANE, which is HeroesMart Academy Networking Events. And we have monthly events where we talk about how to homeschool. We talk about crafts sessions. We make craft. We talk about Bible stories. We talk about friendship circle. We have just a blast, with homeschoolers connecting remotely with each other once every month. We have adult training sessions and sharing sessions as well that we organize as needed for each family. And all you need to do, again, is to register to be a part of that. You are going to be called into these events once every month by the grace of God. So numerous networking opportunities for homeschoolers. You want to make sure you take advantage of it. And now we're moving on to structured versus not structured. So lots of people may want to say, well, I don't really want to replicate the public school education while I am homeschooling. And I get it. That's going to be perfectly appropriate. But at the same time, I'm going to be an advocate of putting some kind of structure in the way you homeschool your child. The reason is learning builds on prior learning. So if your child is deficient, for example, in addition and subtraction concepts, later in life they may start to struggle with algebra. They may start to struggle with differential calculus when they get to college. And that's going to tell on your child's performance later on in life, because everything builds on prior knowledge. So it is important for you to put some kind of structure in there. Now, the fact that you put structure to your homeschooling curriculum does not necessarily mean that you're not flexible. So that's the difference between homeschoolers and public school children. So public school children have to be at school 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, and they're going to sit down there until 3:30. Whether they're learning or they're not learning, well, you don't have to be bound by that rigid schedule for your homeschooler. You homeschool. If 10 o'clock in the morning works for you, well, that's what you do. And when your child has mastered the content, you don't necessarily have to keep the child in front of the TV screen or glued to their workbooks, because they just mastered it. You get a chance to bond right now with your child better as a parent if you're doing that over there. So I will definitely advocate, please and please, add structure to your homeschooling curriculum. Well, how do you do that? You're going to find a curriculum that supports your child's learning style, for example. There are 4 major categories of learning styles. There is the kinesthetic learning style. There is the visual learning style, auditory learning style, analytical learning style. And there are curriculum providers that tailor their curriculum based on these different learning styles. So for example, at HeroesMart, we try to accommodate as many learning styles as possible. So that's the reason we are going to have visuals and videos for visual learners. We're going to have audio sessions for auditory learners. We're going to have workbooks with homework and sessions for analytical learners, and we have demonstrations as well for kinesthetic learners. So we try to incorporate all these different learning styles into our curriculum and contents. But we're not the only ones out there. There are other numerous curriculum providers that you can learn and glean from. Find a curriculum that supports your child's learning style, and you can do it maybe on a test by case basis. See what your child resonates with. Does your child resonate with counting cubes, or does your child resonate with you counting sticks on a sheet of paper? The child that resonates with counting cubes may be a kinesthetic child. We want to make sure you get a curriculum that can do that more for your child. Does your child get intrigued when they see videos and their interests are piqued because of that? That child may be a visual learner. So you want to do it on a trial by error cases and see what your child is going to be actually the natural tendencies of your child with regards to learning. Consider a spiral learning. Each grade level is going to build on prior grade levels. Create a flexible structure for your child and understand how to use this. So we have examples of learning expectations and potential learning styles over there on our website. If you were to click on this link over there, it's going to take you to learning expectations, and then you can access additional resources from our website. All right, so moving on right now. If you are overwhelmed, I feel your pains. I've been there before, homeschooling 2 great children, working a full-time job, and been there, done that before. But my charge to you today, if you're watching with me, is please and please do not quit. Well, how will I not quit, Mr. Land? Well, you want to make your life as easy as possible. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that can actually complicate homeschooling for you, which lots of people do not know, but it's going to add to your stressors. Okay, so you want to add additional stress to your plate? Try to piece curriculums together. In other words, you're going to get mathematics curriculum from this provider. Then you're going to get English from this provider. Get sciences from this provider, and try to put all that together over your dining table and try to homeschool with it. Well, can you make it work? Of course you can make it work, but it is stressful, because each curriculum provider provides content holistically. They're not going to be providing content for you in a scattered shot fashion. No, they provided it holistically, and the expectation is you're going to stay with them and homeschool your child. I mean, think about it. When you were in public school, did you take mathematics in this particular public school, and then you went over to another public school, you took English over there, and then you went to another public school, you took sciences? No, you stayed within the walls of your school, and then you took your lessons over there. Well, I'm just trying to make life easy for you. If you think you want to piece curriculum together, well, that's fine by you, but I do not want you to be overwhelmed. Get an all-in-one curriculum that supports your child's learning with minimal parental supervision. So that's another thing that you can use to release the stressor away from your body. So if you can find a curriculum that's going to be really hands down off for you, you're working a job, working remotely from home, but you can tell your child, well, go ahead right now, open up the school's portal and stay there for the next 1 hour, watch your videos, do your homework, and I'll be back with you a little later. Well, that's going to be a stress reliever for you. So try to get a curriculum that can do that for you. Network with others and share learnings. That's another way that you can learn a lot. So lots of people, especially on Facebook right now, if you were to go to Facebook group, you're going to see homeschooling groups by the thousands of them. You can learn what's working for a family, what's not working for a family, so that you can incorporate those lessons into your homeschooling journey as well. Adopt a flexible schedule. If homeschooling in the morning doesn't work for you, well, do it when you return from work. If you don't want to do it 5 times in a week, you're welcome to do it like 2 times or 3 times in a week, and God is for you. Most importantly, you want to ask God for guidance when you are homeschooling. All right. So hopefully a couple of tips like that will help us to not to be overwhelmed in our homeschooling journey, right? And if you want to go ahead and take advantage of HeroesMart Academy's resources, please and please feel free. Go ahead and register on that website. within the next couple of days, there is going to be 20% discount available when you click on this link over there. This link is going to be available for you at the bottom of this post. So that's what I've got to share with you guys today, and hopefully you learned something from it. How to homeschool with HeroesMart Academy's resources, and with additional resources that you can find on the internet. How to homeschool for free, how to infuse biblical morality into your curriculum, networking opportunities for homeschoolers, structured versus not structured homeschooling, and if you're overwhelmed, there are tips to get not to be overwhelmed, tips to de-stress your schedule, de-stress your homeschooling journey, which will enable you to carry on the responsibility of homeschooling your child without quitting. All right. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Lano Lude from HeroesMart Academy. And until next time, bye-bye.